¡Marico! ¡Mi mamá, huevón!
Mierda, mira cómo esa mierda se cayó. Mierda. Mierda, mira esto. Es donde marcan. Mierda, se cayeron los...
Amareli, se está cayendo esta mierda. Mierda.
On the afternoon of Wednesday, June 24th, 2026, the South American nation of Venezuela was rocked by a catastrophic seismic event that has left the capital city in ruins and triggered a massive national emergency.
Toca la pelota, juega hacia adelante, venía Cunha.
Qué verga es.
Afuera. Conocía con el TCA de ese grupo. Es un grupo bueno.
In a terrifying display of geological fury, a magnitude 7.2 foreshock struck first, only to be followed a mere 39 to 40 seconds later by an even more destructive 7.5 magnitude mainshock. This rapid-fire doublet earthquake has been classified by experts as the most powerful and devastating seismic event to batter the country in over a century, fundamentally altering the landscape of Caracas and surrounding regions.
¡Ayuda!
Dios amado, que no haya nadie abajo, Señor.
¡Cuidado, dale rápido, chamo! ¡Cuidado, cuidado, que se va a caer el 20! ¡Cuidado, se cae el chamo! ¡Cuidado, dale rápido, chamo! ¡Cuidado ahí, cuidado, hermano! ¡Dale rápido,
Desde el aeropuerto.
The initial tremors registered around 3:04 p.m. local time, catching thousands of citizens off guard as they went about their Wednesday afternoon. The epicenter of the powerful 7.2 foreshock was located at a relatively shallow depth near the towns of Yumare in Yaracuy and Morón in Carabobo. Because the quake occurred so close to the Earth's surface, the seismic waves were amplified, allowing the violent tremors to be felt across an astonishingly wide region. However, it was the second strike that proved to be the true harbinger of destruction. Seismologists have quickly pointed out that experiencing two major earthquakes within a single minute exponentially increases the risk of structural failure.
¿Qué pasó?
The first quake severely weakened the structural integrity of buildings, and before engineers or residents could even assess the damage, the 7.5 magnitude mainshock delivered the fatal blow, causing widespread collapses. Recognizing the immediate threat to human life, the United States Geological Survey, USGS, instantly issued a red pager alert, a designation reserved for events with a high likelihood of extensive damage and significant casualties.
¡Está temblando! ¡Está temblando! ¡Ay, no! Dios mío, no, Dani. ¡No!
In the capital city of Caracas, the scenes were nothing short of apocalyptic. As the ground violently rolled, thousands of terrified people rushed out of their homes, offices, and high-rise apartment buildings, flooding the streets in a desperate bid for safety. The shaking was intense and prolonged, lasting for several agonizing seconds that felt like an eternity to those trapped inside. The most severe structural damage was concentrated in affluent and densely populated neighborhoods, such as Altamira, Los Palos Grandes, Baruta, and Chacao. Eyewitnesses described massive dust clouds billowing into the sky as concrete facades sheared off buildings and plummeted onto the sidewalks below. Inside shopping malls and restaurants, the violent jolts sent bottles shattering, furniture sliding, and patrons diving for cover. In central Caracas, Frantic eyewitness reports confirmed that multiple buildings had suffered partial or total collapses, with visible rubble blocking major thoroughfares. Traffic came to an absolute standstill as drivers abandoned their vehicles in the middle of the road, overwhelmed by the sudden chaos. The disaster severely crippled Venezuela's critical infrastructure, bringing the nation's transit hubs to a grinding halt. The Simón Bolívar International Airport in Maiquetía, the primary gateway serving Caracas, sustained severe structural damage. Terminal ceilings fractured, and critical runway infrastructure was compromised, forcing authorities to declare the airport completely out of service. Hundreds of passengers were left stranded as all flights were indefinitely suspended.
Vamos a ver Vamos a ver el parque náutico.
Cuidado, bajemos, vamos abajo. Vamos abajo que puede ir una réplica. Se cayeron los 3 edificios. El edificio de Las Palmas, Punta Brisa.
Within the city itself, the Caracas metro system was immediately evacuated and temporarily closed to allow for rigorous safety inspections of the underground tunnels. Furthermore, widespread power outages plunged several districts into darkness after the electrical grid infrastructure was heavily damaged by the shifting tectonic plates. In a proactive measure to protect students, government officials ordered the immediate and indefinite closure of all schools across the affected states, while structural engineers began the painstaking process of inspecting educational facilities. As the dust begins to settle, the human toll of this tragedy is coming into grim focus. While initial reports left casualty numbers unclear, authorities have now confirmed at least 32 fatalities, a number that rescue workers fear could rise as they dig deeper into the debris. First responders, alongside ordinary citizens, are working tirelessly through the twisted rebar and shattered concrete, desperately searching for trapped survivors. Hospitals across the capital are operating at maximum capacity, many of which have sustained their own material damage, complicating the triage and treatment of the injured. The psychological toll is equally immense, with a population traumatized by the relentless aftershocks that continue to rattle the region, keeping everyone in a state of high anxiety.